What's good? I am Yish. You're watching New Leafs on Life. It's been a year. I think the last time I posted, I was going through EMDR therapy. We did some pretty good work with that. I released a few things. Unfortunately, my situation changed to the point where my transportation, this place was 2 hours away from me. That's how difficult it is finding these specialized therapists. But I tried to make one last effort to get out there, and the car died on me. So, and y'all excuse the roughness. Of course, this is the Corona season right now. So, stuck in the house, not really thinking about all of this right now. But anyway, I'm posting today because I'm still on this journey where I'm trying to work out these internal issues, and everything keeps leading back to IFS. No matter how I try to find something to help me, because I can't find an IFS therapist, it always leads back to IFS. So the short and sweet end of it, there's Reggie the Resistor, who I talked about previously, that is guarding the emotional door, will not let the emotions run free. Rumi the Resistant, right? No, I'm sorry, Rumi the Ruminant, who just runs this negative story in my mind, and all these are me. I'm running a negative story even when I wake up sometimes, and I don't even attempt to. It's just there. I just have a bad feeling every day, a negative outlook on the day, regardless of what may be going on. I discovered while I was looking at these two that I also have a victim part. Now, I'm not sure where this victim part lies within my psyche, if it's an exile or if it's a manager or whatever the case may be. But this particular part of me tends to blame things on other people, and I think that came from my childhood by being affected by what I was affected by and never told otherwise. So those three are the ones that I'm still working towards. I will say the ruminant, I spoke as the true self the other day. I actually did a 2-hour audio recording of me just having a stream of consciousness in this regards, but I spoke to it the other day myself, just self-talk, in a way where, and this is the amazing part, in a way where I recognize that, hey, you can't keep doing that. You can't keep running that story, that negative story every day, ruminating about things every day and not taking a break. And the intention was, hey, you're going to do something else. So rather than running a negative story, that nothing is good, because that's really what the story is saying, it'll be more about acceptance of everything, good or bad, no matter what it is, because that's what happens with me. Something bad goes on, I'm thinking in my head how I could have did better, and it just feeds it becomes complaint every day. So instead of that, becoming more becoming more accepting, excuse me, you get what I'm saying, I can't get my word out, of things that are good or bad, no matter what they are. The resistor is probably the toughest one to unburden with this IFS thing. And of course the victim, I called him Victor. I'm really just seeing that, like, in the light of making excuses for everything, right? Always putting the blame on something else. And then of course we have my firefighters. The main one, I won't get off into any real detail. It's an addictive property that I have. Very damaging to my relationship. Actually, both of them. The other one is smoking. I just did research the other day because of a mishap in the bedroom, that smoking actually reduces your performance in the bedroom. That's crazy. But it makes all kind of sense. You smoke, you put this nicotine and tobacco into your lungs, that is then absorbed by your lungs and sent to the blood in your body. And of course, me being a man, blood going to where it needs to go to do my husbandly duty, not functioning like it should. So it feeds into a negative story that feeds into the loop, that feeds into bad feelings, that feeds into a need to be distracted from bad feelings, that feeds into it just keeps going. So right now, I did have a moment where I kind of woke up a little bit in that good space of not really, or I should say, of accepting everything as it is, good or bad. But something happened. This was on my anniversary. Something happened in the middle of the day where I got knocked out of that present moment, and I still don't know what the hell happened. And then it didn't make it any better that night we didn't complete the whole scenario. So I'm still trying to work through this stuff. I cannot say that I've been consistent on trying to get these things corrected, because finding the IFS there is almost impossible. The EMDR therapist was cool, but I really need to get to the origin of things, right? And in between that time, life don't stop. I still got to go to work. I still got to deal with things at home, domestic stuff. And time don't wait for nobody. So it is what it is. I mean, and then of course there's the procrastinator part who just drags his feet, because I don't have any real hope feelings. Don't have really any feelings at all. So at times I get hypnotized by the story, and because there's nothing that pushes through emotionally, because I lack that part, I get complacent and just go through the day, get through the day, and I end up fighting a lot of ill feelings, trying to get back to a place of just flat. And I lose myself in the battle, right? I lose the opportunities to stay consistent in the battle. So I'm trying to stay consistent in the battle. And now that I've had at least 3 or 4 times to see some real things that need to be approached, I think I can, as long as I write it down. That's been the biggest problem, not writing things down. So I have me some marker boards, dry erase boards. Write them down so you see them every day and be reminded of what you need to be working towards. So I think with that, my wife actually has a full understanding now of the fundamentals of IFS therapy. That happened on our anniversary this past Thursday, and that in and of itself woke a lot up in me, because I needed that, right? That have understanding of what a person's problem is when you've been trying to explain it for so long, or what a person is going through to try to correct that. Let me say it like that. That helps, because then that shifts her mind frame into a different place. So that's a positive. So I'm gonna stay on this track. Right now we're working through rumination, just trying to keep the negative story from becoming the negative story, and instead letting that part of me simply just accept things as they are. And the part that I forgot to mention, the magical part, the crazy part, was when I had that self-talk and I told that part of me, that rumination part, that hey, you're gonna have to do something different. My body shifted. The muscular system shifted. Like, I went from this tense feeling to just this feeling of elation when that happened. And that was probably the main notification that is something you need to stay on. So I'm staying on that. So that's it, man. I'm gonna get up off of here. get on back home. You've been watching New Leafs on Life.